The Dane and Derek Show is an uncensored, unfiltered podcast. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello everyone, welcome back to Dane and Derek. I'm your co-host Derek, and you probably know by now that I make movies, play a lot of tabletop games, and as usual, joining me, as the title suggests, is my good friend Dane.
Hi, I'm Dane. I write, I do stuff. I don't really care about this today because we have one more person with us.
Yes, we do. We have our incredible friend Taylor Marxhausen.
Hello, I'm Taylor Marxhausen. Longtime friend of the pod and a lover of all things art and media.
Yeah, and one of our oldest friends. If you've seen any of the movies or listened to any of the work Dane and I have done, Taylor's definitely been in them.
That's true.
Yeah, been in a majority, probably a good majority still to this day.
I would call it a good 75% for sure.
Yeah, so
That sounds fair.
Yeah. So yeah, Taylor, this whole episode is dedicated to just us kind of shooting the shit as we do on this show about just our friendship. Because the three of us have a really unique friendship in that it's both one part work and one part completely social.
Mm-hmm.
And we both have many friendships and different contexts within friendships, right? Like Taylor and I went to the same middle school and we were super tight then, and we did a lot of theater. And then I know like Dane, you and Taylor used to do like breakfast, was it? All the time?
Yeah.
That was our thing.
Yeah, we would do breakfast, especially during your gap year, right?
Oh yeah, especially during your gap year because that was your senior year. So like every Wednesday, it was kind of like every Wednesday we could at least. It's kind of like our thing to go to Bob's and just like have friendship time.
Yeah, because I think I may have talked about this on the show, but my Wednesdays during my senior year of high school were the best. I got into class sometime around noon, and class was jazz band and weightlifting. And that shit was so good. I don't know how to say this, but like most people like don't peak in high school. I'm gonna be like, I think my Wednesdays peaked in high school. I cannot foresee in my life another like routine Wednesday where I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends all morning, and then I'm gonna play kick-ass music, and then work out, and then go home
immediately
and hang out and do stuff. I don't think my Wednesdays will routinely ever be that good again. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I'll have better when individual Wednesdays, but you know. So yeah, Taylor, you and Derek have known each other longer than you and I.
Yeah, Derek and I even went to elementary school together, technically.
Technically, yeah.
Did you guys know each other though? It's harder to kind of get that like across grade.
Derek, unless you did Songbirds, I don't think we did.
Yeah, I did not do Songbirds.
Yep, so we did not. Plus, I came to that elementary school in 5th grade, so like kind of any chance that I would have had to interact with any other grade, like it was not an option, not really.
Yeah.
I know we definitely became very tight middle school.
Yeah, starting with me in 6th grade and you in 7th grade.
Yep.
Yeah, because we did a lot of theater together.
Yeah, I think every play that we did at that middle school we did together.
Yep. Yeah, which was what was that first one? It
was Music Man, the first one we did together.
Hold on, you guys tried to do like there was Music Man in middle school?
Yeah, we did Music Man my 7th grade year. Yeah.
That's kind of a big musical to all right. Nice, good work.
I think we did Annie too, or Beauty and the Beast as well.
Beauty and the Beast was my 8th grade, and then Annie was your 8th grade.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It was so fun.
I know.
And then we continued to do high school together, or theater together through high school, rather.
Yeah. Robin Hood.
Kids.
Yeah. We did
Oh,
Merry
Derek,
Wives of Windsor.
you had a leading part in one, right?
Yeah,
Um,
Merry Wives of Windsor.
Yeah,
yes,
you did.
yes.
That was the one I gained like 25 pounds for.
You were so committed, more than
Yeah.
any other human our age could have been.
Yeah,
It was funny
that's
because yeah, no, I asked Doc, I was like, whatever I get cast in, can I cut my hair? Because I had grown my hair out. And she was like, we'll see. And then I got cast as Falstaff, and she was like, don't cut your hair.
It's like hell to the knot, grow it out.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to like look like this, I might as well just commit to the Falstaff. So even though that was the first time in my life I had like a six pack, like a full six
Right.
pack, I was like, I'm willing to lose it for this role. Started chugging that Dairy Queen, which was
Oh my god, that's
really
right.
bad.
What
I would,
You
year
literally
was
would come to
this?
rehearsal with the blizzard.
yeah, that was junior year.
Was
I
that
would,
junior year? Christ.
yeah, that was junior year. I would chug 2 Dairy Queen Blizzards, and I would get them to make it in the extra extra large container before each show. It was like I don't
Right.
know how I didn't throw up because
I
I was also
remember
eating
this
like
because Mrs. Church was pissed all the time because your mouthpiece was always fucking clogged. Or was that Mr. Lewis?
It
one
might
of
have been
the.
Lewis at that
I think
point.
it was Lewis. Yeah. Yeah, because I just had like all
Right,
sorts
'cause
of
I
like dairy and sugar.
yeah,
Just
the dairy and the sugar, it's so bad for
yeah.
saxophones.
Read
Mhm.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not it's just not good. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, I do not miss that because I
Ugh.
would like stuff my face with like, particularly like crackers before every scene.
Mm.
I would get a mouthful of crackers in my mouth just to like feel extra like salty. It was
I'm
it was
imagining.
bad. Yeah, I don't advise it to anyone to do that to themselves.
You are method through and through.
Yeah, that was like the real last time I did theater too.
Yeah,
It
acting
Um,
was.
wise.
yeah, I kind of switched into doing tech after that, but yeah. Oh man,
Theater was something else at our school, that's for sure.
it really
It
was.
it really was. I wasn't in theater. Just
Yeah.
I was just tangentially around some theater people and got into some like some dating messes in with theater girls. So my you guys are talking about it like man theater, and I'm like man theater.
Theater. Oh, there's still plenty of that for both of us. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure.
Uh,
Taylor, did we meet my sophomore year or my junior year?
It was your junior year
Yes, that's right.
because we
'Cause-
definitely like interacted before, but I don't think we like properly
Mhm.
became friends until your junior, my senior year.
Yeah, because we shared some friends and
Yeah.
aforementioned escapades.
All that jam.
All that stuff. Yeah. But we met really met at was it it wasn't the first shoot of Heroics. It was just the first one I was on.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
it was the first time we had filmed since that summer, I think. And it was which turned into being a total trend for us shooting
Yep.
in the middle of winter. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was either
Yeah.
the height of summer or the middle of winter.
no in
Yeah.
between.
No
or
in
a
between.
very cold spring break.
Yeah. I think it was
Um,
episode 2, which we shot
Mhm.
4th.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
So
that was I remember because like I came onto the set and I had a great time. And then I think I distinctly remember coming to you, Derek, afterwards and being like, please let me produce.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
like, yeah, that you literally like sat me down and you were like, I want to
Listen.
produce this. I want to produce like this series. Like you need this.
Yeah, it was I will admit there was some arrogance and some just like Derek, you have a weird, fun, kind of magical thing here.
Yeah.
And it's a mess. And you need someone to just clean up that mess for you a little bit so you don't have to.
Yeah. Honestly,
But
though,
but
it was needed.
but here's the thing here's the part that I remember about how Taylor, you and I met,
Mhm.
is I was just doing an extra bit for Derek, just
Oh, but
just
you were
a small
legendary.
side part. Um, Small part. I later did a like a role with a name.
Mhm.
But like Derek came up to me and was like, "Here," and handed me some rope. And at the end of that rope was Taylor, because
Oh
in the
yeah.
episode Taylor had been captured.
Yeah, Dane was
Um,
my handler all day.
yes, I was the henchman that was holding the rope.
Boss.
So we just kind of had to go everywhere together for like 12 hours.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
literally.
I remember you were like, "Don't untie me. Just untie me once
yeah,
we're
yeah,
done with this bit."
Well, because like it was such a process to tie a knot that was like one, not gonna kill me, but two, like easily replicable. So I was just like, I don't care. Like feed me juice, do whatever needs to happen, but just like I don't care, dude. It's fine.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like for continuity, like we didn't want to like move who had the rope. So, and because there was nobody producing, no shot list or anything,
Yeah.
there
There
was
was a
like
script.
yeah, like if I left and we forgot, um then we were we might have been shit out of luck. So I just like stuck with Taylor all day, and yeah, we just hung out, and I just remember having like a really good time.
It was so fun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then we did a bunch of shoots together.
Mhm.
um oh, we did Wedding Crasher
Yeah, we
that
did.
summer,
Yep.
which was another moment of just like we did a ton of stuff together. um but yeah, we did a ton of just work. And then I don't remember exactly how I started coming on those Wednesdays to hang out with you and meet you at Bob's and stuff, but
Yeah. Well,
we
because
did.
you had to come pick me up because I did not drive until I was almost 19. Because go me.
Yeah, and I was one of the, I think I was third. Derek, I was third in our friend group to drive, right? Because it went Amy, Christina.
Amy, Christina, you.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Spam was first, but like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
um so yeah, and then like nobody else got their license for like forever. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like um so yeah, I did a lot of driving, and
Yeah,
you
you
know, I
did.
All
remember.
the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Like,
it was fantastic. And then Taylor was one of the few people I kind of kept up with through college
Yep.
from high school. And then we did level 1 together, which fucking
Oh,
love that.
it's my favorite. I love level one so much, deep in my heart.
Me too. I mean it is, but like,
I mean,
you
we can
know,
talk about level one because I think there's something really interesting there, right? Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, because I remember like level one was kind of born out of a like a desire to do an actual play show, at
Hmm.
least from what from
yes.
my view in, but also like all these attempts we had made at trying to do one, and
We
then you
did
two
3
like finally
attempts.
did it with Will and Sam, and it
Yes. Will,
worked, and it
Sam, and
was
Taylor,
great.
and it worked. And we did level 1 for about 2 years,
Yep.
and then it transitioned over to Diceology, partially because we just kind of needed a reset, and partially
Hmm.
because um Taylor needed to take a bit of a step back, and Sam eventually did as well. Um, and
It'd be like that.
now it life do be like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
level 1 was kind of was really special because for like 2 years, you guys and Taylor would come over for like 4 hours every Tuesday. And at the time, I was like living in fucking like Longmont.
Yeah, you were pretty far
Which
away.
I was pretty far away. So like more driving had to be done. You were driving, but Will and Sam I consistently picked up from Boulder after work, drove to fucking Longmont. We would record, and then I would take them back
Right.
um at like midnight
Oh,
because
if
we
not
were all
later.
working, so we didn't, yeah, because we couldn't really start until like 7.
Hmm.
And then,
Yeah, because
you know,
thankfully you guys would always feed us, which I always appreciated.
yeah, yeah. And so we wouldn't start until like 7, and then, we recorded in like basically like 4-hour chunks, more or less.
Yep.
And then we would do that every other week, and then I'd take them back, send them back
Hmm.
to CU. Uh, but yeah, that was really special because it came right after college, and right after college for me, I'd kind of lost music for a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of lost touch on what I wanted music to be in my life, and then I didn't have really much to like fill that gap. I started writing and publishing around that time, and I started doing level 1 around that time. And so part of the magic of level 1 for me is that for years I had been doing art without people. Like
Hmm.
like I would perform with people, but it wasn't like a band that me and these people had formed. It was class. It was, you know, for in the service of people who were very unkind to me. So the magic of getting to reconnect with Taylor and Sam and Will, who
Hmm.
had been so important to me in high school, and then to make something beautiful with them again was just awesome. And you know, it's it's oddly feeling to me like after like COVID isn't over,
Yeah.
but when the point comes at which life returns to normal, I'm kind of realizing that I'm gonna need to do the thing of like reconnecting with people like I did after college.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, it was really awesome. And I remember Taylor, you and I in level 1, especially early on in level 1,
Mm.
would do like the dramatic heavy lifting, while Sam
Yes.
and Will would do the comedic heavy lifting. Like you and I did no jokes. Like
Next
that
to
was
none.
yeah, like we did a couple and we would like quip with them, but we did not do bits. Like Sam and Will would just get into like these bits. And then like and so there'd be bits for like 5 minutes, and then you and I would be like, we're gonna have a 10-minute very in-depth emotional conversation. Um
Yeah, whether it was our main characters that we were playing or whether it was like one of the
mhm.
various NPCs we came up with.
Yeah, and it was this like very funny thing where for like a long time, like we each like would hold that up, and
Yeah.
then somewhere around like halfway through the first season we were like, oh, we get it, and we started like trading, like we started figuring out how, like, even though I don't particularly feel like a particularly funny person, I figured out how to like tee up Will or Sam,
Oh, for sure.
and you totally did the same. And like Will and Sam started coming out of their like shells and being like, no, 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 I'm good to be like a little more emotionally vulnerable, because they were coming from
Yeah.
such like comedic backgrounds. In particular, Will in particular,
Yeah.
he was coming from comedy improv. Particularly, he was like super into it, so like he like had to like work that muscle of getting back into more
The
dramatic.
feelers.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I remember season 2 when we did all those like little side games.
Yeah, while Will was
God
abroad.
damn. Yeah, when Will was abroad, those were really fun. And
Yeah,
then
that was a blast and a
season
half.
3, season 3 was just uh, that shit still breaks my heart. I loved that
Yeah,
so
I
much.
know.
Um yeah. Anyways, um yeah, so here we are. That's kind of like our history. And but what, like, Derek, there was a period of time where like was it the summer between our junior year and senior year where you, me, and Taylor were just kind of trio for a little while?
Yes.
I think that makes
It,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, because that was the summer that we filmed the rest of Heroics. We
Yep.
filmed God Damn It Jane. We filmed Wedding
Yeah.
Crasher.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
We
Oh,
did
we did
like I think
that
I
like we did that oh fuck, what was that? What was the movie? The one that I wrote, um
oh
with like the jacket and
Undecided. We did
yep,
Undecided.
Undecided.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um and yeah, so we were basically just always together.
Mhm.
Because even when we weren't like filming things, we were talking about art. We were
Mhm.
trying to make things like you two recorded some music for that ended up in Wedding Crasher.
Yep.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
World Hands, fucking love
hmm
that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a big summer. And then even that following summer, senior year of high school into freshman year of college,
Yeah, there was more big projects.
yeah, because we did
Yeah,
Bros of the
Bros.
Realm, we did Sam's Web Show,
Yep.
we what was that, Dean?
Oh no, that I just think that was those are the two big ones.
Yeah,
Because the project I was doing at that time was it Two Tiered Thoughts? Yeah, it was Two Tiered
yes, it
Thoughts.
was two
That's what I
tiered
Mhm.
was doing at the time.
dots.
So
Yeah,
Which
I
the
didn't
two of
have
us
like a
helped
big
out with a couple little recordings.
yes, you both did.
hmm
Derek helped me particularly with like getting some mics together and
Yeah.
yeah. And
yeah,
then so yeah, I
and
didn't have any like projects I was spearheading, but I did producing on both of those projects,
Mhm.
and both of those projects were huge.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, even though um, Sam's project never quite saw the light of day, which is such a shame because that script was so damn good.
yeah, it
Um,
really was.
yeah, but yeah, Bros was that was such a goddamn undertaking. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, in retrospect, just like thinking back on it, we bit off a lot.
we did. We bit off quite a bit. We basically shot two feature films back to back in the span of 3 weeks, if you do
Yep.
the
Yep,
math, which
yep,
is something you could only do in high school.
For real.
absolutely, yeah, and like,
um,
and like with Bros of the Realm, there were so many fucking there were so many locations relative like
Mhm.
again
yeah,
like
Yeah.
relative to what we were capable of, and like we built sets
Yeah.
we'd never built sets before because remember we went to Marshall, we went
hmm
to Chautauqua
Mhm.
for outdoor sets, we built a set in Derek's garage, we built a set on the Monarch High School stage.
Yep.
yep.
um
And then we just filmed in my house. Period.
Yeah, overall.
Um,
yeah.
we filmed a new location every single day, and
Yeah.
shot
Mhm.
maybe like because it was like a 60-70 page script that
Yep.
Yeah, it's
eventually
pretty big.
became like a yeah it eventually became like a 20-minute movie, but it was like 70 pages, so we did that in 6 days. That's like a little over 10 pages a day. That's
That's
like 12,
Yeah.
bonkers.
13 pages a day, which is like
Derek,
that's not a
you're
sustainable pace.
Derek, you do this like professionally now. How insane was that in retrospect?
Oh, incredible, incredibly. For instance, like a traditional Hollywood big budget movie pace is like 1 page a day.
Yeah.
TV is like 4 to 5, and for like indie movies, it's like 6 to 8. You try never to go over 10. And we were doing like a solid 13 pages a day, back to
Yep.
back to back. Like we did that 6 days in a row with no break.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I literally don't think
and
there was a break.
No,
yeah, and
because we had to work around everyone's schedule. Like,
uh huh,
and so there was just this one gap of like filming on both projects,
Yep.
and
yeah,
then all the time, and then we did all the prep work we could on the outside.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It
fucking
was
love that
a
though. It's very fun.
it was very fun. It was good, and I think like when I think about like fun, like a fun thing that had type 1 and type 2 fun, like type
Mhm.
1 being the type of fun that like it's fun to do, and then type 2 being it was kind of rough in the moment, but it was fun afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both like that summer had a lot of that, and I think that that's
Mhm.
that's probably what's really defined. I think a lot of like the things we've done as like a trio has been a lot of type 1 fun and a lot of type 2 fun together.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
a lot of that kind of shared kind of commiseration when we're
Yeah.
filming in the freezing snow, or in the blazing hot sun with no cloud cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Taylor, do you remember
yeah.
the first? Do you remember that Roman-esque movie that Derek made? That
Spoils of
first
war.
Spoils of War. Yes. I remember that basically that shooting that first day I came to ended, because I went to Derek and I told him Taylor's like 30 minutes away from starting to go into like damage from
Yeah.
the cold. I was like, we
Yeah.
have to be done. And I believe, Taylor, I carried you back to my car and like,
You literally did. I was like, not even a person.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was so cold.
It would. I think it was literally negatives by the time the sun
Yes.
actually dipped behind the
Yeah.
mountains.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we were
because we
filming for
went
maybe like
from
we had like a 2-hour window to film.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
once
Lighting
that
wise,
like
yeah.
yeah, lighting wise. And once that hour 45 was done, the temperature dropped like an insane amount of degrees.
It was
yeah, because
obscene.
it was like 40s and kind of sunny. So it was
Mhm.
okay. And then like the moment it just turned on a dime.
Yeah.
Um and I
Yeah, like a
remember we
wind
went,
came in, not like a
yep,
blustering wind, but there was a wind chill in the air. So like I'm in a dress, I've got
yeah,
like leggings on, and like I tried to like cover up as much as I could, but yeah, I was like flopping around in the snow, and there's a breeze, and oh my god, I remember Zach was
yeah.
freezing too because he's in a
Mhm.
Roman uniform. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Cody's giant arms were out.
yep. Yep. I also remember that like didn't you get you the next that you went and shot in the morning too after to finish it up so that the
Yes.
light
Yeah,
was roughly
yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
Yep.
we filmed 2 days in a row.
Yeah. Cuz I
Yeah.
remember after that evening shoot we went back to your place, Derek. Um
Mhm.
and I can't remember who all was there, but I think I wrote the music for that short
Mhm.
in your kitchen while we were
Yes.
waiting for food.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you
Yeah.
wrote the lyrics.
Oh, not the I already
You
had
wrote a
lyrics,
you wrote the
but I
guitar
wrote the
riff.
yeah,
Ah.
cuz Derek put together like I don't remember who you was editing with you, Derek, but you put together like a really really rough cut.
Mm.
Um and
Yeah.
I I wrote to that. Um and then I went back to college like a week later and recorded it proper.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It was a great
Yeah.
soundtrack. It's one of those songs that like I have in my library of like music I should reuse in something because it's really good.
It is.
Um Also Will Cordell made pizza on that film.
He did. He made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
He also
whenever
did that for
Will
Bros. He
Yep.
we paid him to cater for Bros.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
incredible.
Because I
If
remember he
there's
showed up with like catering tins and everything
Yeah.
at Monarch.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. He
fucking
went
great. But
really
because like
ham.
what did we have? We had like 30 people
Oh, at least
at
between
Monarch
cast and
for
Yeah.
crew
that.
for sure.
Yeah, because we had a ton
Yeah.
of extras and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
went mm,
it was a lot. It was a lot of people. Especially for
yeah.
the tavern day. That
Yep.
was like,
That one
like
was on the stage. It was great.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Like the fact that we did that
Yeah.
still blows my mind. Like we built a full set that we could walk around in with floor, ceiling,
And move a
and
camera around him.
move a camera
Mhm.
around in, and
We also
like
and we did an interior of like a temple with
Yeah.
pure fabrication.
Yep.
yeah, we
That
used
could that we moved. Remember we had the
yeah,
trap, the
we had it
closing.
on skateboards, and we would
Yeah.
push the walls together just to like tighten on us as we were like running through the ancient temple,
Yep.
which and then remember we were like we had people throwing like what we thought was flour to like be dust,
Wasn't it
Yeah.
powder? It was powdered
which is
sugar,
powdered sugar, and so we
which
were
is
all like
actually better.
sticky.
Which is
Yeah,
it's actually better though because flour
It
might have
looks better, yeah.
exploded literally,
yeah,
whereas like we were sticky and gross from the powdered sugar, but at least nothing caught on fire. So
exactly.
um
In
Yeah,
Derek's garage.
yeah, with those
yeah,
hot lights, and it was like 120 degrees in that garage.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like, man, yeah. Uh,
No, we did bonkers shit is the term I would use.
yeah,
We went for it.
we
Yeah,
did.
and
I think yeah. You go.
you know, I honestly look back on all of that with a lot of love.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, like it's camp. We were, you know, kids doing our best,
Mhm.
but honestly, I think the earnestness just shows through. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
you know, and also like Derek, you made really good stuff
Oh yeah,
in
always have.
Oh.
in some of it. Like Wedding Crasher is just, it's still good, you know? Like it's definitely a student film, but like that's not a knock against you, you know?
Hmm.
Like I often feel like people look back on their work and get really embarrassed and really upset
Hmm.
about it. And I always feel sad about that because I'm like, but for fuck's sake, look how much you've grown. And if you know you've grown well, you haven't lost the bits of magic that made you do this in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely get that. And I think like Wedding Crasher especially,
Hmm.
it's when I moved to LA right after college, I was in this weird boat of like because I hadn't really like directed that much my like latter 2 years of college. I kind of got burned out of it. And I was
Yeah.
like, I need to direct movies again, but I don't know if I can make them the way I used to make them. And Wedding Crasher became that compass rose for me.
Mm.
Like I went back to that and I watched that film for the first time I think since we had put it in the festivals, and I was like, wow, we really had something special. We really captured like if you go to youtube.com/c/claw mountain and you watch everything in order from like oldest to newest,
Hmm.
there's like a point where like you watch through all of heroics and then you watch like Wedding Crasher, and it's like
Yeah.
this incredible like you see all of us growing and becoming more confident in ourselves and what
Hmm.
we want to be doing. And it's really beautiful to kind of like see all of that kind of come to a head like at the end of heroics and at the beginning of Wedding Crasher, and kind of like really like yeah, like it's student work. It's work we did in high school with very limited resources, like, but at the same time, like, yeah, that earnestness, that heart, it shows through all of it. And that's like something that like I've made a lot of like soulless work, um that I've like since realized like, oh, I didn't really have my heart in it, and you can really see. And
Hmm.
that's why it sucks. It's because I didn't care about it that much, and I feel bad that I didn't care so much, or that I didn't know I didn't care, because I was so tired. And I think
Hmm.
like knowing that what can make a film so like what can make anything so special is the earnestness and that heart behind it, that can help transcend it. And I think like rewatching Wedding Crasher when I was in a very like delicate time of like trying to make movies, and like being reminded of like, oh yeah, we were just a bunch of friends that had a bunch of skills that we had acquired over the last year of kind of just messing around with swords behind a Safeway. um and now we were ready to do something different. And I think about that just sort of like, oh yeah, like we knew that we could do Wedding Crasher. like there was like this, I think when I think about making that movie, I think about how the three of us drove around, and just like, Taylor, you were trying on wedding dresses,
Yeah. Thrift
and
shops
like,
with my little brother.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And like I remember like Ryan Chen showing up in a tuxedo because he
Yeah.
was like, I'm here, I'm going all out. I remember like Will's mom came, my mom came. That was the first movie that my mom I think came to like be an extra in.
Aw.
And
Hmm.
like just like, like all these things, all these like friendships kind of really came to a head. And it's like a really great example of like, I don't know, just like having fun, being a good person, doing good art. Like all
Yeah.
those people that were in these projects we still work with today, which is really incredible, you
Yeah, to
know?
some capacity.
Yeah.
And the truth is about Wedding Crasher, like a lot of people put a lot of work into that, and I don't want to diminish that
Yeah.
when I say this, but that movie, Derek, was you, me, and Taylor. Like
Hmm.
I'm not on screen for more than a couple of seconds, but the truth is, I shot most of that movie.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I
like
Yeah.
mean, we spent a whole day filming hours of montage footage that barely made it into the movie to kind of
Hmm.
be that
yep,
entire middle section. Like, I
right.
think one of
Like
our, yeah, like all the trio
I
photos are the
drive
three
and
of us.
Hmm.
I air quotes almost hit you.
Yeah.
There's like the music is Taylor and I,
I cut the
and
film.
yet you cut the film. Like it was, and you and Taylor truly did star in it. Like so,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
truth is that movie is like has you Taylor and I's thumbprints on it the most. Um,
Yeah. And that film
yeah.
too, I think, was the first time I wrote something without the sort of veneer and makeup that I normally put on my movies at the time, you know?
Hmm.
Like I really set out to write a film about friendship, um,
Mhm.
and like being close with someone.
And
But I
just
didn't
love, like in general.
yeah. I think it's one of those things where like I think about a lot about how like there's sometimes where like I'll cover things up with other things, like I'll make a movie about like, dealing with like I don't know, bad parenting, but I'll cover it up and make it a fantasy movie. And it's
Hmm.
about like orphan kids dealing with bad parenting, and it's like, cool. Like that kind of harder topic is a little bit more removed because I've added a little bit of something else to it, which makes it different. But this one, I was like, it kind of just needs to be like, it needs to be heightened. So it's going to be a wedding.
Hmm.
And I remember showing you both the script, which was just a long paragraph.
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
I should post that because it's just one long paragraph. And I used to write scripts where like the action lines would be in parentheses for some reason. um,
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
just one long paragraph. It's like the title page and then one page of just the paragraph, and it's literally describing word for word what happens.
Hmm.
And I remember the two of you being like, "We have to make this." And I
Yeah.
remember there were, and I just remember that like that was one of those moments where I was like, "Wow!" Like I communicated exactly what I wanted, you know, in this movie. And
I
damn.
remember I remember
Yeah.
feeling I remember feeling the first so I remember this, and this is kind of in retrospect, but like thinking about like
Yeah.
heroics and things. I remember this feeling of like this is going to be fun and let's do the absolute best we can. But part of my brain knew even back then I was like we're going to miss the mark. Like, like I was like it's just a little out of reach. We don't have enough money for the costumes and the stuff, and most of us aren't actors, right? Like I was just like I was always like we're reaching and that's fine and we don't need to not reach.
Yeah.
But when you handed me Wedding Crasher, I was like for the first time like I was like, "Oh my god, we can make this." Like I was
Mm.
like there's no doubt about whether or not we can make this. Like, there's some challenges, we got to get a hold of a wedding dress, and we got to film in the church, and like we got to put together enough people to be there. Like there were challenges, but it wasn't something that was like, okay, how are we gonna make armor look realistic? Like it was
Yeah.
and because we'd done so much stuff that was so much harder,
Hmm.
and that was just genuinely a little impossible for us. It was like, oh shit, like we can do this. So let's do this. And we went as hard as we could on that. Like I know we went real hard for bros, and we went hard for heroics, and we went hard for like the after heroics, like the extended heroics episodes. Those were actually pretty good too. Um,
Yeah.
but like we went just as hard with Wedding Crasher. And I think, Derek, because you took the veneer away, it felt so achievable, and everybody put everything they could into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way to put it.
Hmm.
But
I think we're
yeah,
at time though.
we are at time. My alarm went off not too long ago, but which, yeah, sorry if I scared anyone with my alarm.
But it's so
But
jovial.
yeah, Taylor, it's been so incredible having you on the show for the first time, and like for chatting and catching up. We're gonna have you on at least one more time, so everyone get ready, for more Taylor, because the world always needs more Taylor.
Ah.
Yeah,
I can, yeah. I'll put my name
Yes.
on that.
yeah. So yeah. You can follow the show at Dane and Derek. You all probably know where I'm making movies. You probably all know where Dane's writing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Dane writes
Taylor,
about Yeah.
yeah. Taylor, where can we find you on the internet?
So many places. For the purpose of this outro, though, I'll plug my YouTube channel. It's 28, the number Taylor Ann, and I'm going to be posting on it much more soon.
Yay, finally.
Woot
I'm
woot.
excited. So yeah, thanks for hanging out this week, everyone. We will catch you all next week.